everybody. The countdown to Bills training camp is almost over, which means if you're a sportscaster like me, it means the summer is over. Not literally, though, so don't worry, kids. You're going back to school in more than a month from now. But for a lot of us, yeah, our summer is over. 2 more sleeps for Bills Mafia, and then it's time to head down to St. John Fisher. And for what it's worth, there are so many storylines we're going to be keeping our eyes on when it comes to this team. But earlier today, Bills left tackle Deion Dawkins held a press conference for his 3rd annual Car Show set to take place August 5th at Highmark Stadium, a really cool event that we'll get more into in the coming days. While there, Dawkins was asked about what he's looking forward to the most and what fans should be on the lookout for when they get to camp. And with all the new players and coaches coming in this offseason, the Snowman says be ready for something totally different.
They're going to see the guys be guys, and they're going to see DJ Moore and Keon catch balls, and they're going to see us block. And I think that they are going to see a new Buffalo Bills team, and they're going to see Joe Brady happier than he's ever been. And they're going to see Josh happier than he's ever been. This is his first season going into a season with a whole new crew.
All right, and all that fun kicking off Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. That is a much earlier start time. We say much earlier, but about 45 minutes to an hour earlier than we normally were used to under Sean McDermott. That's going to be for all practices at St. John Fisher this year, that 8:30 start time. We are expecting to hear from first-year head coach Joe Brady, general manager Brandon Beane, quarterback Josh Allen, and others in just 2 days from now. All right, now in terms of the major storylines we're going to talk about in the following days, here's a couple I'm going to have my eyes on. The first is sort of obvious one, but I'd like to see Josh Allen and DJ Moore's chemistry continue to blossom. Listen, it's no secret, Moore secured himself a fat old payday from the Bills this offseason, and I think the fan base is clamoring for him to step up and be the #1 wide receiver that Stephon Diggs once was for this team not so long ago. So those two getting on the same page, I think, is paramount early on. Next up, on the other side of the ball, for the first time in quite a while, we are going to see a totally new defensive scheme for this Buffalo Bills team be the primary look. Jim Leonard's 3-4 defense puts a lot of focus on the linebackers and the defensive line, so position battles with guys like Dorian Williams and rookie Caleb Elarms-Orr, who you see on your screen right there. That's going to be a big one to follow, as is the emergence of guys on the line like TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson coming back from injury, and rookie TJ Parker, all competing for a starting role. That's going to be at the forefront, but I am expecting a lot of learning curves and speed bumps along the way, as many of these guys that you see on your screen and in this defense are getting out of the Sean McDermott style of defense and into something new under Jim Leonard. All right, and finally, I'll keep it real. I can't wait to see the personalities clash, and that's mostly because C.J. Gardner-Johnson's on defense, Josh Allen's on offense. Listen, we got a tease of these two back during minicamp when Gardner-Johnson picked off Allen a couple times at practice. The thought of those two battling it out for a few weeks before the season is going, it's just going to be pure entertainment. You know how scrappy things can get at training camp. I think it's a good thing for this team to experience because iron sharpens iron after all. All right, now to talk more about as we get ready for training camp, the previews, position battles, more things we should keep our eyes on, we welcome in our friend Ryan Talbot from NYUp.com, Syracuse.com, and the Shout a Buffalo Football podcast to break everything down. We welcome on from NewYorkUp.com, Syracuse.com, and co-host of Shout a Buffalo Bills podcast, Ryan Talbot, friend of the program, friend of yours. Ryan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I think when you get to the week of training camp, it's kind of like Christmas a little bit, because you're just like, man, inevitably football season is here. Those summer days at St. John Fisher are just something that, you know, it sneaks up on you, and then it's here. And then, you know, just well as I do, it is full sail ahead for the next 5, 6, maybe 7 months or so. But as always, buddy, glad to have you on. Appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, excited to be here. And like you said, this is the best time of the year, in my opinion. We have football pretty much now, whether you're talking about training camp practices, eventually the Hall of Fame game, preseason, and then all the way through the regular season and playoffs. So football is finally back, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, obviously, so much to talk about with this Bills team this year. There's nuance, right? I mean, like, when you're coming up there and we start on Wednesday, there's going to be an earlier start time. It starts with something just as simple as that, but there's a new guy, head coach Joe Brady, his first training camp as the head coach, new defensive coordinator Jim Leonard, multiple new pieces on both sides of the ball here. So I guess just for you, what are you generally just maybe looking forward to the most, or something that's been maybe at the forefront of your mind that isn't necessarily diving into both sides of the ball, which, you know, we'll do here in a second?
Yeah, actually, part of me just wants to see how Joe Brady is going to operate training camp versus what we grew to expect from Sean McDermott over the last few years. And I think there's been some hints and clues along the way. You know, when we've talked about the injuries that have cost the Bills, the how they've been beat up at times entering the season, how they're going to manage practices throughout the regular season as well. I wonder how that's going to trickle down to training camp. Are we going to see a lot more veteran rest days for some of these players that I know it's a new system on defense, especially probably can't do it so much on that side of the ball, but offensively, you know, how much do you really need to see James Cook? How much do you really need to see Josh Allen? Obviously, there's a few wide receivers probably want Allen out there on the field as they're fighting for a job on the bottom of that roster and would rather be trying to catch passes from him than Kyle Allen or Shane Buechele. But a lot of these other guys, you want to keep off, let them rest up, let them stay healthy because it's a long season, and that's maybe one of the things I'm watching for at camp.
Yeah, I mean, you said it there too. One of the things I have to add too, which is a nuance for a lot of us here, is that, you know, when they come back on the 8th of August for the return of the blue and red scrimmage, and we don't go back to Rochester, it stays right here too. But offensively, I think, you know, it's an easy one to go to, and you talk about Josh Allen, the balance of the rest days, Ryan, but I also think because you have DJ Moore, a guy that they have invested a lot of money into, right? So you want to see more from him. You've got an up-and-coming rookie like Skylar Bell. You've got Keon Coleman, who has so many question marks around him. And then, of course, you know, Khalil Shakir is kind of the steady anchor, so I'm not going to group him into somebody that I feel like we're not going to be closely watching just because we kind of know what we're getting with Khalil. But in terms of just from this offensive standpoint, I'll go to the wide receiver room. How important is it right now, given what training camp is and the scope of it, for somebody like DJ Moore to flash a little bit for fans?
Sure, it is very important. It's important for the fans because of what you said, the cost that it meant for him to come over from Chicago, a second-round pick. You're talking about a massive contract, the first number one wide receiver the Bills have truly had since Stephon Diggs. And I think a lot of fans are wondering if he's anywhere close to that echelon. When Diggs came over, you're looking at a player that was entering his prime, someone that wanted to be that number one receiver, which he couldn't be in Minnesota at that time. You're getting a DJ Moore that's coming off of 2 down years in Chicago, and I don't think it's all necessarily his fault. I think it's the system a little bit, the quarterback play. There's a lot that goes into it. I still think this is a guy that's going to go over 1,000 yards receiving, but you want to see your new weapon on offense really pop early on. It can't make a big play. One of those things that's going to take over social media at, like you said, 9:15 in the morning on one of these days because of these earlier start times. Everyone wants those viral clips. So absolutely, and it's obviously from a chemistry standpoint important for Allen and Moore to get on the same page because you need them on the same page come week 1.
You look around the rest of the wide receiver room, too, and another guy that I'm sure everybody, I know I will be, and I'm sure you too, Ryan, are going to be paying attention to is Joshua Palmer, just because you got to wonder, you know, how healthy he is coming in, and then with a healthy Joshua Palmer, what could you start to see from him? Because I think you saw flashes of it. I go back to the Atlanta game last year, and then the injury happened to his ankle, and it just didn't feel like it was ever the same there, too. When it comes to just that room in general, and you have a wide receiver one like DJ Moore, do you feel better with the supporting cast that is there, or is there still maybe more left on the bone, a lot of question marks that you feel when it comes to the surrounding talent?
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff left on the bone because you don't know what you're getting with Keon Coleman. He's said all the right things this offseason. He's done all the right things, training with Stevie Johnson, talking about how this is a huge year for him, but you got to be able to see it first before you believe it. Joshua Palmer, you know, Bill signed him to a pretty sizable contract last year. Despite some injury issues when he was with the Chargers, he comes over here, has a moment in the Atlanta game, but then all of a sudden he's injured and he's never the same again that season. So you need something from him, and I truly believe that the wide receivers are going to be a huge focal point for the Bills this year. I think they're going to open it up on offense. This isn't going to be the balanced offense we've seen maybe the last few years. You still want to get James Cook and company involved, obviously, but I think they're going to air it out more, and you need to have confidence in those players, Palmer and Keon. Like you said, you know what you have in Shakir, but what can you get out of Skylar Bell? Who's going to survive at the bottom of this roster as they're waiting for some players to get back and healthy? Is it going to be Trent Sherfield? Is it going to be Mecole Hardman? Someone that surprises us. I really think that ideally Joe Brady might want to run some of those bunch wide receiver sets that you saw from him in Carolina, that you have to have confidence in your wide receivers to run those sets, though, and utilize them.
And then on the other side of the ball, I think it goes without saying, Ryan, too, is that, you know, with Jim Leonard in this defense and the emphasis of this new 3-4 defense that Bills fans are going to be, it's going to be a new experience for all of us. We haven't seen this, and we can only kind of go off of what we maybe saw a little bit of his secondary work when this team just lost to the Broncos in last year's playoff. But you go to that side of the ball, how do you, if you're talking to a fan or from your perspective, how do you kind of tell fans or help them understand the gauge at which they should kind of take things as training camp moves on? Because I'm sure there's going to be road bumps along the way, given this is a new system with a first-time play caller running the defense in the professional level here with Jim Leonard. What would you tell the fans about their reasonable expectations when it comes to this new defense?
Yeah, I think you need patience early on, especially at training camp. There's going to be some miscommunication, some breakdowns in conversation between the players. I mean, pre-snap just alone, the Bills were very spoiled from that perspective early on in Sean McDermott's tenure because you had a prime Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde communicating. You had so much talent at linebacker with back then a younger Matt Milano, and the communication breakdowns are going to happen. There's going to be some broken plays. There's going to be some big plays for the offense, in my opinion. But what you want to see is you want to see those gains day by day. You want to see better communication. You want to see how these linebackers fare in the system, both outside and inside. Inside, there's a lot of question marks about the health of Terrell Bernard, the health of Dorian Williams. What are you getting in Caleb Elarmzor? That's going to be a fun battle at training camp. But what are you going to get out of these guys on the outside, too? Bradley Chubb coming over into a defense that I think fits his skill set really well. And what does this three-man front look like here in this 3-4 base? Because you have a job for Ed Oliver, you have a job for Deion Walker, but who's going to take that third job?
I'm going to put you on the spot, Ryan. A guy on each side of the ball. Since we're talking defense, we'll go there before I make you go back to the offense. Who's one guy in particular on defense you're going to pay or just kind of keep your eyes on a little bit more than others?
Yeah, I want to say Elarmzor just because I feel like he can win a starting job, but I think a lot of people are looking there. I'm going to go Landon Jackson as an alternative. Yep. I really feel like the Bills loved him coming out, but that was a different coaching regime. But the one thing working in his advantage, I think his skill set, his body, his frame is better suited for a 3-4 than a 4-3 defense. So I'm really interested to see how he gets acclimated. Can he knock off a TJ Sanders and get that other starting job opposite Walker and Ed Oliver? So that's one player that I'm watching on that side of the ball. Offensively, it's not a sexy pick, but Austin Corbett, I think he's almost being written off, and myself included. I think Alec Anderson is the guy for that job, but Corbett's a player that has a ton of starting experience in this league. It's been a health issue for him, though. He hasn't played a full season, I believe, since 2022. So he needs to be out there every day. He needs to be fighting for that job. And that's the one question mark on the offensive line. You have 4 returning starters. You need to know who's going to be in that 5th spot because it's going to be crucial for this offense.
My last thing for you, Ryan, is just overall, what do you think this team needs to get out of training camp, out of the St. John Fisher portion, especially more so when pads come on? I always like to keep the expectations realistic when we're talking non-padded days before you get to the padded practices. But what do you think this team needs to get out of the padded practices before they start shifting full-time training camp back here to Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, just the common installs on both sides of the ball. I think you're going to see some tinkering on the offense. I've talked a lot about how I feel like this is going to be an offense that gets the running backs more involved in the passing game. Pete Carmichael Jr. has been big on that in his career, especially in New Orleans. 9 instances of running backs having 70 receptions or more. So James Cook is going to see an uptick there. That's also going to maybe play a role in how this running back 2 battle shapes out between Ty Johnson and Ray Davis. So it's the install on both sides of the ball. It's staying healthy, obviously, and then it's just working on the chemistry from Allen, DJ Moore, and then on the other side of the ball too, implementing who's going to be your starters at linebacker. Let's let them work on their chemistry, give them a lot of run together. You want to see Cole Bishop and CJ Gardner-Johnson as that safety duo communicating. So communication and install.
Awesome. Ryan, my last thing before I let you go ahead and plug yourself. Where can people read, find, watch all your work?
Yeah, you can find me on Syracuse.com and NYUp.com. You can find Shout Buffalo Football Podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms. You can find me on social media at Ryan Talbot Bills.
Perfect. That is Ryan Talbot. I am Dom Tibbetts. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's talk about the big news of the day. And when I got to Highmark Stadium, I wasn't talking to fans about the upcoming training camp and how they're excited. I mean, I asked them, But that wasn't the big news. The Bills released their new Nickel City alternate uniforms today, and the reveal was met with, let's just say, plenty of mixed reaction from fans, media, and even some players. First, let's start with the fan perspective, as I caught up with a few members of Bills Mafia outside of Highmark Stadium to ask what they thought about the new jerseys.
Anytime you're trying to go into a new season, you're trying to refresh the roster, you're trying to refresh, obviously, our facility, which it's amazing to see what they're tearing down right now and what that looks like. But then you look over here and it's like, wow. So it's great to have new branding and a different variety of jerseys to choose from.
I think he could have gone back. We have many, a good, even way back to the 60s.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some beautiful ideas back then. I understand their thought process and the Nickel City and everything, but I just think they're They're not, they don't poof. I wonder how they're going to do.
I don't really like them either. I feel like it's such a dull color compared to like the bright red and blue. And honestly, I feel like we need better helmets more than jerseys.
The first impression I got when I got into the store, I liked the jersey, but then it reminded me of the Detroit Lions jersey as well. Somehow they have a similar one, like a gray one, but I liked it. It's very pretty.
It was meh. It didn't poof. That was one of my favorite sound bites from all of this. Those two gentlemen at the end that you saw right before here, and that's a look at the jersey. That's my friend June. We'll talk about her in a little bit. She went and bought one of those today, so I was outside the Bill store getting a shot of that. Those two guys you saw it there at the end, though, they came all the way from Columbia to check out the new stadium, so I told them, hey, guys, tonight when this is on the show, I'm going to shout you out. So, all right, let's shift gears, because we in the media had plenty thoughts about the Nickel City unis, and we're going to bring back Ryan Talbot for his thoughts on them.
Honestly, just because something has meaning, I get what they're playing into, the blue collar, the tradition. It doesn't mean that it's going to have a good look to it, though. At the end of the day, I feel like they failed on the execution. The meaning, I understand it. I like it. It's just the execution at the end of the day.
All right. And then there's the players. I personally wasn't sure or when we'd ever get a truthful reaction to these new jerseys, because I feel like when we're going to talk to the guys on Wednesday, they're so in camp mode, it becomes, okay, are we going to ask them about a jersey that was released 2 days prior? But thankfully, as we all know, as he prepared for his third annual car show right here in Buffalo, Bills left tackle Dion Dawkins shared his thoughts, just as Dion would, about how he eventually bought into the blue-collar look.
I can be honest, right? When I first seen it, it didn't grab me. It did not grab me. And I'm an honest guy. When I first seen it, not on me, it did not grab me. And then when I put it on, and then I started to add like the blue shirt underneath and the right cleats and the right gloves, I said, all right, now I see the whole vision. And they're honestly fire. They are elite work, and I'm happy that we have them. And when we play in them, it'll be a beautiful day.
I mean, listen, jerseys always do look better when they are being played. I was a fan of the Nike White Rivalry jerseys that we got to see last year when a lot of people weren't. But then the Bills didn't play that well in them, so a lot of people used that as kindling to start fires the day after. So, all right, I guess it leaves me. What do I think about the jerseys? You're going to get that answer on the other side of the break and my final thoughts when Leading the Charge returns, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. All right, welcome back. It's time for final thoughts, and I want to talk about the jerseys. I want to give my honest take first. I knew this jersey reveal was coming. I knew something was up, and then the Bills released it around 9:30. I didn't like it. I mean, personally honest with you, I didn't like the color. I don't think gray is a color scheme that works for this organization, for this team that has centered itself around the red, white, and blue, which I'll get back to in a second. I do want to say, though, I love the message. The blue-collar roots, sure, you could say that about any city, but it really is something that is the fabric of the Buffalo, Western New York community, is having the blue-collar roots. So I think the messaging is fine. But not to steal the words from a conversation I had with Ryan Talbot earlier, you can have a good message and fail on the execution, and I do think the Bills did that. It just looks meh and didn't have a poof, as that man Paul said earlier in there too. I didn't appreciate it. I think the Bills just could have done so much better because they have a red, white, and blue scheme. Also, think to yourselves, the red helmets, how much of a massive success that was just a couple of years ago when Josh Allen runs out on the field during the return of the blue and red scrimmage and dons that helmet. You can bring that back. So many fans have been clamoring to get the 90s back here, or heck, go back and put a standing buffalo on a helmet. There were so many better options than to pick these gray, dull uniforms uniforms that this team will wear. But I want everyone to know, that's my opinion. The Bills are going to wear them. They don't care what Dom Tibbetts says. They're going to wear them twice this season. And when I went to Highmark Stadium today outside the Bills store, people bought the jersey, like my friend June I told you about earlier too. June, and then I will say, when I looked at the jerseys up front and close, they were actually a lot better than I thought. But June, along with the rest of Bills Mafia that likes these jerseys, should be allowed to go and support their team and buy the jerseys and have their opinion. She liked them, as did many of the other people I talked to, and many of the other people that I also talked to there as well didn't like them. We're all allowed to have opinions, and it's okay. But guess what? If Josh Allen and this team have an epic performance in those jerseys, I bet you everyone's opinions will change just slightly. All right, that's my final thought for Michelle and Jenna. We'll see you next time.